Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Zebu Nation. We're back with FC Cincinnati, and it's that time of year again. MLS playoffs for the 2021 MLS season are underway. Now, little side note here. In real MLS, the playoff structure has changed. We talked about this before, but I'm going to go over it again just in case you're new here. MLS structure has changed to a one-game knockout tournament, much like the NCAA tournament that I've been talking so much about the last few episodes. But here in FM world, we haven't quite got that change yet, at least not in this save anyway. So we're still doing that weird two-legged thing. So here is our matchup for today. We have a semifinal first leg versus DC United. Let's see how we got here. Eastern Conference, can we do, oops, not Supporter Shield. Can we do, let's see, Wild Card Round. Here we go. So in the Eastern Conference, DC United beat Atlanta United in penalties 2-2. So that's how they got here, and they get to face us, the number one seed. Philadelphia, meanwhile, dispatched New England 2-0. Over in the Western Conference, LA Galaxy upsets LAFC 2-1. The El Tráfico Part 2 takes place, and the Galaxy pull the upset in extra time. Also in extra time, San Jose races past Colorado 4-3. That sounds like a pretty entertaining game. Played San Jose earlier in the year. They are a pretty up and down type offensive team, so that's no surprise there. But there we go. That is the wild card victories. Eastern Conference semifinals. It is, as we mentioned, DC United versus Cincinnati, and then Philadelphia versus NYCFC. Two very good matchups. That's going to be some outstanding games. Meanwhile, in the Western Conference semifinals, LA versus Seattle, the top seed in the West, and San Jose versus Houston, the number 2 seed in the West. So 4 really good games. It's going to be some outstanding playoff of football. So we're going to get ready for the doubleheader here versus DC United. We looked at them earlier. We can take a look at them again once we get to the matchup screen. I think I started a little early here. I expected the game to be on right now, but anyway, it looks like New York City 3-0 in the first game over Philadelphia. That's kind of crushing. And then Houston 3-1 over San Jose. Ouch. Both of those, we're going to make the second leg a little bit more difficult. What do we got here in terms of emails? I don't know. I don't want emails. Get out of here, emails. What's happening? Why is it going so slowly? We don't need any of this. We don't need any of this stuff. Get to the match preview. That's what we're looking for. DC United 6-4 favorites at home at their new Audi Field in Washington, D.C. 19,733 tickets sold out of 20,000, so just about there. Just about a sellout. It will be 69 degrees and drizzling with strong winds here in October, so it is fall. It's not yet winter, but it's getting there. That's another thing the new playoff format is designed to mitigate, is having to play MLS games in the blizzards and snow that you get in winter. So hopefully we can end our playoffs, at the end of fall, or at maybe the very beginning of winter, and not in the dead of winter. Anyway, we have won 6 of the last 9 versus DC United. Played them quite a bit over the last couple of seasons. They've only won 2 and 1 draw. So it's been pretty good for us versus DC United as we've played. We don't know a lot about them. Apparently, we forgot every scouting that we ever had during the preseason, and we forgot their entire team. We don't know anything about them. I wish they would keep the star ratings and all that stuff. I mean, I mean, I guess we know some of these guys. I mean, we still have their stats. Why don't we still have the scouting reports on these guys? Just keep them around until the end of the season. No need to purge the database as soon as regular season ends. We've got playoffs to deal with. Anyway, Paul Arriola injured. That's a big injury for them. Jordan Morris out. Also injured. Theo Pellinard, left back, injured. So they got quite a few significant injuries coming into the playoffs. We'll see how they can play without them. They do have Dave Romney at left back. Who are they going to have at left winger? You know, both Arriola and Morris can play on the left wing. So they're going to struggle to find a left winger. I'm not seeing one. Maybe Zoltan could play left wing. We'll see who they throw in there. Let's see. Meanwhile, their overview. Preki is their coach. Yeah, we looked at these guys. Wayne Rooney. Wayno. Is he still in there? I don't see him in the starting lineup currently. Do have Jesse Gonzalez in goal. But yeah. So like I said, we looked at DC United not too long ago. How did we do against them in the regular season? Okay, so let's see here. DC United, we beat them 2-0 just a couple of weeks ago. And then earlier in the season, we lost to them 2-0. I think that's it. I think we only played them twice in the regular season. So this will be the tiebreaker, I guess. Let's get to the match. So here's our lineup. On the bench, we got a pretty strong bench. We've got Adi, Crispum, St. Duke, Alashi, Glad, Clute, and Hudson on the bench. So we're looking strong. We're looking healthy going into the playoffs. Very happy about that. After all the injury struggles we've had this season, it's nice to actually have a decent team going into the playoffs. Anyway, we got Stefan in goal, Nuhu, Wilson, Richards, Blackman. Pretty standard defense. Philippe, Akechi, De Vries taking the captain's armband. Acosta, Sonora with 13 assists on the season, leading the league. Przbilko getting the start up top with his 18 goals in 18 appearances. Highest average rated player, top scorer on the season. We need to play this guy more, and he's going to get his wish next season. Meanwhile, DC United, Jesse Gonzalez back in goal. 34 appearances, 34 concessions this season. Romney, Birnbaum, Petty. Jake Petty, one start this season, is getting the start in the playoffs. Central defender, 22 years old. Big, strong kid. He looks pretty decent. You know, I wouldn't hesitate to start this guy, except I would have started him a few more games in the regular season so that I didn't have to have him with almost no experience coming into the playoffs. Anyway, he's a super draft pick this year for DC United. Villalba, Jusili, Diaz, Rooney, captain's armband, possibly his final 2 games in his career. He is retiring after this season. At least he's retiring from MLS. He'll probably retire for good. Fagundes on the left, their top-rated player, top goal scorer, most assists. He's done it all. 35 appearances, 13 goals, 8 assists, 7.20 rating. We're going to have to keep an eye on him. Segura, Ulysses Segura on the right-hand side. He has been slightly less productive. 1 goal, 2 assists on the season. And Boyd, 9 goals, 3 assists on the season. So I think Fagundes is the guy we really need to focus on. Villalba seems to be coming forward a little bit too. Only 3 assists on the season, though. Let's get to the dressing room. Tunnel talk. Get out of here. This is where we want to get. All right, Fagundes. We're going to close down on you as best as possible. Villalba, Rooney, Diaz, I guess. I mean, you know, we can tightly mark Wayne Rooney, too, because he's definitely got the potential to score, and it's not like he's going to run away from us or anything like that. with his, like, 5 speed or whatever he's got. You left Denner out. Is this due to his injury problem? Sure, in other circumstances we might have risked him. But, I mean, as long as DeVries is healthy, we don't need him. That's the honest truth. We brought him in just for, like, the final month of the season, and he immediately got injured. So we spent $750,000 for practically no reason. But we can still get some use out of him next season. Don't have to trade him, I suppose. Might trade him, especially since he wants a first-team contract. But I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. We are, of course, in the blue uniforms. And DC United in their trademark black uniforms. We are tackling the heck out of these guys, but they keep... Oh, there's Wayne Rooney. I mean, he can still do that. No doubt about it. And he can do this. He's still got skills. Just because he's old and broken down doesn't mean he doesn't still have skills. Philippe heads it out. I'm all out of water. Oh, no. All right. Here we go. Throw in Romney. Ketchy heads it out. But again, DC United is keeping possession. Diaz tackled. Tackled again. We are tackling these guys. We just can't win the ball. Wayne Rooney has to send it back. Villalba's got to chase it down. There we go. DeVries has it on the run. He's got Przybylko going forward. That was an awful pass. Forced Przybylko to stop and crushed all of our momentum going forward. Here's Acosta now. He's going to turn. Out wide to Senora. He's got the fullback on the overlap. They don't see him. Philippe's going to fire. A really long-range attempt there. Gonzalez is good for it, but we do win a corner. Ketchy sends it way far. Wilson way out of position for that header. Got the Texas Tech Gonzaga game in the background of NCAA, but we don't have time for that. There's a missed header by the midfielder. Acosta has it on the attack. He's going to shoot that left-footed. Gonzalez is there for the stop again. You know, he's the X factor for DC. If he can stop our shots, we're going to be in trouble. DeVries sends one back post. Oh, good defense by Jusely. You know, on the one hand, we're dominating the attempts. 5 shots, 2 on target, but, you know, we're starting to get possession as well. DC United had that initial flurry, but now we seem to be taking control. Senora, Acosta, they're guarding Akechi pretty tightly. We're taking it out wide. Senora, great cross. Their defense is playing solid. Got to give it up to DC United. Defense and goalkeeping, keeping them in it right now. Acosta looking to make a move out wide to DeVries with the shot. Yeah. DeVries. I mean, this guy, he's just amazing. Every save, I get some super draft pick who's just, you know, he just plays better than his ability would let you on. And this time it is DeVries. Just turn, left foot, top corner, goal. First goal of the 2021 playoffs for FC Cincinnati. Goes to DeVries. Oh, here we go. More highlights. Still 13 minutes down. And we're just getting all these highlights. Blackman rushes forward, gets the steal. Przybylko sets the offense to Philippe, Akechi, Acosta. Blackman getting involved in the offense. We're sending 8 men forward. Philippe, Akechi. Can he reverse field? Nope, gets it to Senora. Senora out wide to Blackman. He's got plenty of space. Sends it in. Przybylko over 2 men. That's what we need. That's why we put the big man in the game. You know, he's such a target. Taking over for Adi, who just didn't have a great season this year. Przybylko now playing for the Polish national team, so he's getting, you know, some international play. Always gives guys like more confidence at the club level, or at least it seems to. Well onside. 2 guys trying to mark him. They can't. He's too big. 2-0 DC United. Down. Get out. Now we got to just put them away here. Still just 18 minutes down. Nuhu with the throw-in. Terrible throw-in, but Akechi's going to get the rebound. Centers to Philippe. Our midfield has been pretty darn good this game. DeVries, Nuhu, Akechi. I mean, it's our best players, but, you know, your best players still have to perform. Philippe is wide open, but Acosta takes it himself, gets it to the special spot. Doesn't put much effort into that shot, and Gonzalez makes an easy stop. You know, I don't know if their midfield is quite good enough to deal with ours. Here's Senora now on the attack. 21 minutes, back post for DeVries. DeVries centers, foul. 4 men take on Przybylko, and all they can do is foul him. Here is Akechi gonna try to make it 3-0, and he does. Easy. It's his 12th goal of the season. A lot of penalty goals recently. I think that's one in the last 3 games each. So that's helped out his total for sure. Here we are, 23 minutes down, and we're up 3-0. This is crazy. Steamrolling. There's a big steal. Philippe to Birnbaum. Drops it back to Gonzalez. DC United's got to try to get something going here. Their attack is almost non-existent here. Akechi to Sonora, near side. Plenty of space. Moving through their midfield unimpeded. Not a great pass. They've dropped back. They are covering Przybylko with a blanket. And now here's DC United on the counterattack. Getting stymied in the midfield by our aggression, but we're sending one forward. Gabriel Diaz. Great defense by Nuhu on the left-hand side. I mean, that was a great attack by DC United, but our defense was there. Villalba's looking a little tired for them. You know, I mean, they had to play in the first round, and we didn't. So it's not surprising that they would be a little bit more tired than we are. We have dominated. 30 minutes down. We got 14 shots, 10 on target. That's outstanding. 15 shots now, 11 on target, 51% of possession. Look at the ratings. Everybody's 7s and above, except for Nuhu and Stefan. Here's Sonora. Not a great pass. He's got to slow it down a bit. Drop it back to Akechi. Work it down the middle. Acosta forward. Przybylko. Gonzalez again keeping the score somewhat in reach. I mean, 3-0 is pretty bad, but at 4, it's pretty insurmountable for one half. Petty has to dive and try to head it away. Segura has it. We're putting on a lot of pressure. There's a turnover. Acosta out wide to DeVries. Tries to get to Przybylko. Akechi has it at the semicircle. Score 4-0. Destruction of DC United. What are these fans possibly thinking? Remember, this is on their turf. This is 4 away goals. Here's Akechi. Just takes it to the spot and buries it. Meanwhile, it looks like Texas Tech is heading to the Final Four. I mean, spoilers for a week from now. But yeah. Anyway. First half mercifully over. 21 shots to 5. 14 on target. We are crushing. Tactics, I guess we can dial it back a little bit. Balanced. We'll work the ball. Let's just... don't even try to work the ball in the box. Just waste time. Shorter passes. You know, if we take long shots, we take long shots. It's fine. Very pleased. Keep it going. Let's go. Second half. You know, we rested everybody in the final game of the year. I don't know if I mentioned that. We rested everybody in the final game of the year. We lost to Portland 2-0. You know, meaningless game. You know, but we rested them for this purpose. Just to make sure we were fresh for the playoffs. And we definitely look like the fresher team. I mean, we've had a 2-week break, essentially, for our starters. And they have come out rolling. Whereas DC looks a little tired, they look a little slow. Wayne Rooney, final game of the season. Segura with the shot. We'll see if they can make some kind of comeback. They need every goal they can scratch at this point for the second leg. We need to just slow it down, take the air out of the ball, and you know, get out of here with no injuries. And you know, if we don't give up any goals, that would be outstanding. And there we go, Texas Tech to the Final Four for the first time ever. Good job, Red Raiders. Meanwhile, DC United's looking a bit overwhelmed. We're looking outstanding. Here's a catchy free kick. Almost bent that one in. He had a great free kick a couple of games ago where he bent one in. 28 shots to 8. We're killing them. 19 on target out of 31. 56% possession. It's just a manhandling at this point. DC United just wants to get out of here and go home. Come on. Let's go. Clock, keep running. That's all we want at this point in time, is just for the clock to run. Villalba's looking tired. I don't know if there's anything we need to do. I mean, we could make some subs, but at this point, why break the mojo? Blackman on the overlap. He's on the attack. He sends it forward. Philippe's going to catch up to it, possibly. He does. Gets it back out to Blackman. Sonora. Back to Blackman on the run. He sends it forward. Przybylko with the header and another goal. 5-0. Look at the FC Cincinnati fans have come to the nation's capital in force. Blackman sends it in, and Przybylko up above those poor, hapless defenders yet again. Look at them yelling at each other, holding their heads. They got DS. Doesn't know what to do. 6 foot tall. Can't handle him. Birnbaum, 6'1". I mean, his 15 jumping reach is pretty good. 13 jumping reach is okay, but still. Przybylko, 6'4", 17 jumping reach. He's just going up over top. Akechi sends it wide. De Vries has it now. Back to Akechi. Are we going to get 6? There's still a minute left in extra time. Philippe's got room for a shot. Fires it wide. Mercifully fires it wide. I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to do that, but, you know, good job. Good job. And here we go. Final minute. Close it down. Go back home to FC Cincinnati as De Vries with sort of a time-wasting foul. We're going to go back home to FC Cincinnati with at least a 4-goal lead, if not 5. Hopefully it stays 5 and they don't get last one here in the last seconds. There it is. All right. 5-goal lead going into the second leg. Outstanding. Outstanding. That was a very good performance. No, I'm just pleased. I don't want to be a downer at this point. Ouch. Dominant win for the orange and blue. That is for sure. Akechi, 2 goals, 9.4 rating. Out of this world. Toronto's FC's boss, Andre Villas-Boas. What was he doing there? May have been taking a closer look at Villalba and Chris Richards. Okay. Interesting. Post-match, send assistant. All right, let's pause it here, get to the second leg, and check out the rest of the playoffs. So, okay, we are back for the second leg. Here's a look at the rest of the playoffs. NYCFC is up 3-0 on Philadelphia. Cincinnati, as you saw, 5-0. Houston, 3-1. And then the lone close series, LA-Seattle, tied 2-2. Let's continue on and see how these matches go. We had a little bit of an injury question. We'll take a look at that. Looks like nil San Jose and Houston. So I guess Houston goes on 3-1. Okay, so they're the first to get to the finals. And then Philadelphia won the second leg, but not by enough. New York City advances 4-2. Move on. Come on. Here we go. Nope. Training schedule. Who cares about that? Fitness test. Sonora had a little bit of a tweak. He's capable of playing in the forthcoming match, but will probably sub him out. Meanwhile, LA Galaxy wins 1-0, so it's going to be in the West. It's going to be LA versus Houston. And then, most likely, Cincinnati versus New York City. So let's go. We are 6-4 favorites. We're in strong form. We had that one loss that sort of doesn't really count. But anyway, that last game upped our domination of DC United. 7 wins in the last 10 games. So, yeah, there's not a lot to talk about. Sellout conditions at FC Cincinnati, 24,570 sold out of 25,000 capacity. Breezy and 57 degrees is pretty nice fall weather. So we don't have like rain or sleet or anything like that to deal with. That should be fine. Yellow card, though, could be an issue from this referee here. Rubiel Vasquez, 62 yellow cards on the season, average of 3 per match. So we'll see how that goes. Sonora, I think we will take him out of there, and, we'll give St. Duke a run on the right-hand side. I thought about putting Crispum in there, but you know what? We'll save Crispum for coming off the bench just in case we need him for anything else. We could do a lot of substitutions here if we want to get drastic about it. Crispum, Adi, they've got a little partnership going on. We could get Alashi in there. We could get Glad in on defense for Richards. We could even, if we wanted to get tricky about it, Denner is back. So we could give him a little run at left wing. If anything happens, we can move St. Duke over there. Is that too much? Could be too much, but I'm going to take the risk. I doubt they can score 5 on us no matter who we got in there. I don't care if we subbed out our whole team. I doubt they would get 5 on us. Anyway, they've got Gonzalez, Romney, Birnbaum, Diaz, Villalba, Jusili, Harks, and Segura. Wow. Areola on the bench. Wayne Rooney on the bench. Ouch. They pulled some of their superstars. Stieber on the right. 5 appearances. 23 substitutions. Is that right? Yeah. 5 starts. 23 substitutes. 1 assist for Zoltan. 33-year-old winger. Okay, I don't know if that's what I would call great production. Anyway, Boyd and Fagundes up top still. So, yeah, we got Stefan, Nuhu, Wilson, Glad, Blackman, Alashi, Akechi, Denner, Crispum, St. Duke, and Adi up top. So I'm sure our fans would go crazy if a coach did this. Switch out basically your starting attack for the second leg of a game in the MLS playoffs. especially if we lose. If we lose, it would be Berserk City. I don't think any coach in their right mind would take this risk. But, you know, I'm a daredevil, I suppose. So here we go. I mean, this is why we play all those games. As the old coach used to say, this is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that stuff in the off season for days like this. All right, here we go. Stieber centers to Fagundes. DC United trying to get on the board early. Stop by Stefan. That's going to give them a corner on the far side. They got to score early and often if they're going to catch up. DC United, of course, in the black. We are in the blue. Stieber curls one in there. Stefan comes out off his line to make the save. There we go. 5 minutes down. You know, it's not highlights hot and heavy like we had in the first game. Haven't changed anything. We're still on the attack. Still doing our thing. Maybe that's a bad idea, but, you know, that's just how we start every game. It's consistency. Team knows what we're doing. There's no need to, like, because you start changing, and I think that can, like, mess with their psychology, you know, start giving them doubts. But here we just go out, do our thing, and then, you know, once we start to dominate, then we'll start to just take control, ease back, and, you know, waste time. But until that happens, here's Harks. DC United gets what they need, an early goal. The fans are starting to, I can feel them get upset with me minute by minute. I mean, this is just a rocket shot from Harks. Wide open. Fires one. I mean, that's normally where Wayne Rooney is. Is this Ian Harks? This is Ian Harks, 26-year-old center midfielder. There's Nuhu booting one downfield. Crispin wins the header to Denner. Denner getting forward. The Brazilian, he's in traffic. Centers to Crispin. Not a great touch, but he's looking back to Akechi. That's a nice safety blanket. Akechi forward. St. Duke. Great pass to Adi, who gets on the board. St. Duke. Outstanding pass, my man. You know, he's played well on international duty this year, and that's given him a little bit of confidence, I think. Look at this. Akechi, just far too much space for him. Interesting pass to St. Duke, then a great pass to Adi, who just buries it. It's pretty good when you can bring Adi off the bench, you know, as your second team striker. Akechi with an early yellow card. Not happy about that. Can we tell him to ease off tackles, perhaps? Nope. Not yet. I mean, I don't really know how to do that manually, so I just wait for the assistant coach. Here is DC United trying to get another one. Fagundes. He just rolls up on our defense and gets one. They're trying to make it interesting. 6-2 aggregate. You know, at this pace, it's not an insurmountable lead. If they score a goal, you know, every 20 minutes, that can make it interesting. "30 minutes. Okay. You know, this is what we want. We want the clock to roll. The clock is our friend. So second half, we'll probably shut it down even more. Akechi's been booked. There we go. Thank you. Please tell him. Please tell him to tell me to tell you to ease off tackles. Thank you. I don't think that works, but, you know. 44 minutes. 2 minutes of extra time. This is what we want. Just clock, 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 clock. Run, run, run. Not the most thrilling video in the world, but you know what? Let's do better on Travis Boyd. We're trying to win the game here. We are trying to win the cup. Back-to-back cup winners would be outstanding. We're going to stop that, slow that down, waste that time. Yeah. Dressing room. Oh, we should change the mentality as well. Go from attacking to balanced, I think. Pep talk. Let's be calm and say we've got an aggregate lead. Let's make sure we hold it. Everybody looks extremely delighted by that wisdom. Ancient, secret wisdom that we just imparted to, like, hold on to a lead, please. Nuhu Akechi, Crispum, first highlight of the second half. Denner's an interesting cat. He's got some interesting abilities. He's a little bit more well-rounded than any of our other wingers that we have. You know, we got a lot of young wingers. And Denner sending one across. Romney heads it out, but Crispum has it. He takes a shot. Look at that. Highlight right off the opening kickoff. Crispum with a little barrel roll in front of the DC United fans. They're probably not too happy about that. But our fans are excited. So here's Denner. Lots of space. Gets by his man. Sends it across. Not a great cross, but not a great clearance either. And Crispum just beats the keeper. There we go. 7-2. We're back to our 5-goal advantage. Villalba can really cross the ball. Okay, let's take a look at that. We shall close down on him. Oops, I think they just scored. I think somebody just scored. I think Terrence Boyd, who we're just about to close down on, or mark, or whatever. Stieber sends it in. Boyd beats Akechi. Sort of a missed attempt by Akechi in the midfield. They brought it back to 4. Now Akechi into Glad. It's just back and forth here in the second half. DC United getting desperate, trying to claw their way back into this. Stieber or Zoltan's coming forward. Villalba's coming forward. Romney possibly coming forward. He can cross the ball a little bit. All right. I'm going to get Akechi out of there. And we're going to go a little bit more defensive in the midfield. He's got a yellow card. He's a little tired. We're going to go center mid on defense. And then we're going to bring Philippe in at segundo. We're going to shut it down, boys. Shut it down. Man, the Cincinnati fans would probably be screaming. Taking out your best playmaker, your best player. I mean, maybe the people would be understanding, say, okay, we're going for the defensive substitution there. But, I don't know. I could hear the talk radio on Monday morning. All right, here's Alashi. Centers to Philippe. Who's going to be the playmaker? Who is it going to be? No Sonora. No Akechi. No Acosta. It's up to Blackman. Back post to Denner. Who needs a playmaker? Who needs it? Fullback to left winger. A guy who's completely unmatched fit, coming off an injury. I mean, this is a great little move here. Gets past the tackle, bangs it back post. Denner there for the easy finish. Back to a 5-goal cushion. 8-3 now. You can't say we didn't make it interesting. Crispum, Denner, Adi all with the goals. Meanwhile, Boyd, Fagundes, and Harks. Harks played very well in substitution. 26-year-old American. Not the greatest physical specimen either, but good enough. Decent mentals, sort of decent technicals. I mean, he's definitely a reserve, rotation type dude, but he's played his role pretty well. Here's Stieber with another free kick. Juicily heads it. Good stop by Stefan. Good clearance by Philippe. Romney's going to gather it in. 89 minutes, 2 minutes of stoppage time coming up. So we have wasted enough time. There's no chance for them to come back now. It's just a matter of pride at this point. Can they get a couple of goals back? Can they win a game? It's 3-3 right now. Can they say, at least we won one of these 2 games? You know, we may have gotten blown out in the first game, but, you know, we came back. We showed some pride in that second game, and they have. Either way, they showed that they've got some fight here. Just ran into a superior team. Fagundes turns, fires. Nice stop by Stefan. Look at the uniform lockstep crowd. That is some coordination. They've been practicing all season. Got like 8 a.m. practices for the crowd. Make sure that everyone is in sync. There's a foul. Time-wasting foul. Got a minute to go. Minute to go in extra time here, Villalba. So we're going to move on. We're going to face New York City. You know, they're another team. I believe they beat us this year. If not, they're a team with a lot of talent, so they've got the potential to beat us. Not that DC United didn't have the potential to beat us, but they're a little too old, I think. I mean, they beat us once this year anyway. So any team in MLS has the ability to beat any other team. That's not in question. It's just, I don't know that DC United has the physicality to beat us in a 2-game series. So we'll see about New York City. Dressing room pep talk. Passionate, very pleased. Let's go. Continuation. That was an outstanding victory. First leg triumph helps Cincinnati past DC. That's right, comfortable fashion. Send the assistant. DC United to play New York City in the finals. Yep. Let's take a look at New York City real quick. I mean, we should probably get a team report. How about our head scout? Get a team report there, buddy. We might need it. I don't know. For, like, the playoffs, I suppose. You think you could not erase the hard drive before the playoffs? That would be nice. Anyway, I thought I saw a couple of injuries. Yeah, Daniel Zinho, injured 3 days. He'll be back in time. A Fulter, starting defender. 2 weeks. He might be back in time. We got an international break coming up. So they might have some time to heal. Medina, I thought I saw that he was injured, but he must be back. Let's take a look at the schedule real quick before we end the video. Yeah, so we got some international situations going on here. We're going to have 2-week break and then Eastern Conference Finals. This is another thing that the new playoff format is designed to eliminate, is this right here, this international break in between the playoffs. So now the playoffs should end around this round. So they should get over much quicker and let everyone at least have like a month off as an off season, and then, you know, not have to worry about coming back and all this stuff. It will be heaven. It will be outstanding. Anyway, we're going to go through all this and then come back next episode for the Eastern Conference Finals. New York City FC versus FC Cincinnati. Let's go. See you later. Bye-bye.